Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the opening bell. Ashley Reeve here, guys. It's absolutely good to be with you here this morning. It's Friday, the 6th of February. Guys, we're going to get straight into it. Let's put this disclaimer out there. The information we do discuss in this video, guys, it is opinion. Please do not construe this as advice in any way. A warm welcome to everybody. I hope you're doing fantastic on this Friday. It's about to hit the weekend, and I hope that you got your slops out if it is going to be hot, and your shorts, perhaps a pool, I don't know, but I hope you have a fantastic weekend, yeah? Guys, on the note of what's happening in the markets here, very interesting one. We are not seeing big shifts. We're not seeing a lot of movement at this point in time. Maybe just some fundamentals, for your consideration. New Zealand dollar is around the 59 cents there, fell about 1% this entire week. It's ending in a 3-week winning streak, all right? New Zealand's job data was confusing. We had the unemployment jumped to a 10-year high on the one side, which is not good. And we had the employment also rising more than expected, which is good. So because of this mix, markets now think that the Reserve Bank in New Zealand won't rush to raise those rates, which was a different tune or a different thing about 2-3 weeks ago. So traders are expecting no rate hikes until late in the year, possibly October, which has now moved down again. Like I said to you guys, all right, please play it by ear, all right? Take it with a pinch of salt, because at this point in time, because we're looking at the market in increments, there are too many things happening in between. The impact is obviously fewer rate hikes will give us a weaker New Zealand dollar, and this is going to be the underperformance of that. All right, and then obviously from a Japanese yen perspective, it stayed around the 156.8 per dollar, lost about 1% as well this week. It has the snap election this weekend. It's Japan, and the markets are expecting the government to spend more and on the other side cut taxes. This obviously will raise worries about the government debt and funding, and a weaker yen helps exporters, all right, but it does scare the investors. We're going to get to the technicals in a second. And then just something on the dollar here, guys. Dollar stayed strong, though, near 2-week high at the end of the week. And there's a global sell-off, which pushed investors into safe assets. Trump, as you guys know, already nominated Kevin Warsh as the next Fed chair. He's a more of a hawkish player. He's a hawk, supports stronger dollar. And obviously the U.S. jobs data weakened the rate cuts later in 2026, all right? So the dollar is strong versus most of the other currencies, especially the yen, all right? But there's about 2 rate cuts that's expected this year. First one likely to come in June, all right? Gold, obviously, from a technical standpoint, rose slightly to 4,830. And as well as silver, it actually pushed down hard. It's actually down. Let's actually get to those charts now. So here's the gold price. At this point in time, we are sitting at a monthly support, We're sitting at a monthly support right now. And the first leg of support has been found, 1,000%, so it has. But, the second leg is what I'm looking at, and we haven't developed or printed that second leg of support yet. So watch it very closely, guys, especially, moving into the rest of the day during 12 and perhaps even when the New York session opens there. All right, watch it very carefully, as well as silver. Exactly the same thing here. We've actually broken now below a monthly support, and we're expecting it to go down a little bit further. So the dollar is strengthening. The pound here, guys, on this side was a bit weak yesterday. We saw a little bit of the economic reports come out. So it was not that good. Dollar strengthened against it, pushed past that support. And so you can see now what's very important is that it might be forming a support. So there's the first support that's formed now. All right, let's see if there's a second one that could be forming. Oh, not yet. It's still taking a bit of time here. The first one is not finished forming yet. This is literally the first support here. That's the first support leg. All right, we're gonna need another one, so that might swing into next week, which is actually what I wanted to mention, is that many of these swings are going to be continuing until next week. All right, so you just make sure that you check that out. The NAS 100 is pushed down considerably. This is something we chatted about yesterday in the trading room. It's gone down to the areas we had suggested, and you can see now it is actually pushing down. The US30 actually finished off the move that we had chatted about. Look at that. So this was yesterday's move. And it went there successfully. Quite a bit of a push. We're expecting it to possibly push down a little bit further if it continues in this trajectory. And we're going to see then by 12 and by 3:30 how it looks. All right. But just so you guys do know, as I mentioned in the trading room, this is a correction that's taking place. All right. So if you're trading the US30, you are trading a correction. This just looks like a resistance. But it's a correction. So we're anticipating the indices to push up again at some point. We're just waiting to find what is happening with those interest rate cuts. That old tone might change next week as well, so we watch it very carefully. All right, but guys, even the Euro USD here, mentioned to you guys, we're waiting for an hour frame to push above there. It did yesterday. Look at that, above the 1.17. We had a correction, and we're pushing above there again. So I'm anticipating this to push up. We've already found some support. There's divergence. It's looking good. So we're looking for price to come up. All right. But, I mean, it's still pretty slow regardless. We look at Bitcoin as well. Very important one here on BTC. Maybe just some fundamentals. It held above the 64,000, but far below its 2025 highs. The reasons for this is broad market sell-off, guys. Loss of confidence in crypto as a safe hedge at this point, and the ETF selling and liquidation has happened with all those big guys. All right, there's a lot of hype around Trump's crypto support that's faded, and the impact is crypto is seen obviously as a high risk again for now, and the long-term holders are actually under pressure because remember, this price at this point in time, guys, at this point, all right, we at the 64,000 coming from 125,000. Just think about that is like a half. It's half of the movement. All right. So what's important now is to understand we're looking for a bottom. The bottom is not formed yet. All right. And if I look at the monthly here, look at that. There's the bottom. So that the first leg is only developing now. That's the first leg. And it's nowhere near what we need. If we're going to push up with Bitcoin, it might be up to that 50 for now. But at this point in time, look at that. Nah. We're not there yet. So the first leg is not finished forming. We're going to have to wait for it to do a bit more of development. All right. But that's it here from the opening bell this morning, guys. Pretty clean and cut. Nothing really here from a direction perspective. If you're trading the shorter time frames up and down, in and out, you're scalping, there's some obviously opportunity there. So go to the 1 hour, shift down to the shorter time frames, and you can possibly find some opportunities. But as far as the higher time frames is concerned, we are looking for support areas from various assets before we resume the actual direction and the movement of the market. Right? That's it from me. Bye, dankie. Siyabonga. Have a fantastic Friday, everybody. All right. You guys were great this week. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Ashley Reeve here, signing out. Ciao, ciao.